How's everyone doing? My name is Brenden Barker. I'm gonna be doing my Invisibilia response to Alex and Lulu's podcast. So mine's gonna be called Technology vs Humans. I am leaning towards the human side of things just because we are all human at a certain point, and technology is making its way on us in a way that we can't understand. And I have plenty of examples of the good, the bads, and everything in between. So here we go. So I'm gonna start off with the uses for technology. We use it in our day-to-day lives a lot. I mean, I myself will use a Google search 30 to 40 times, if not more, a day. Um, so main point with technology and some of the good things that we retain from it is our research. The internet is everlasting and forever expanding. So every day, we as humans are putting in new data and information. Another thing is globalization, which is the way to connect to people, through social media sites like Facebook and Twitter. You can instantly talk to someone across the country or across the world, and be their friend, or instantly get in contact with someone right away. We used to have like pen pals back in the day before the internet got a hold of every single person, and you can instantly message someone anywhere. Another use for technology is education for the youth. Kids use it for learning games, stuff like that, just to get a better education from a young age. And also advertising. Companies use the internet to push out advertisements to anybody, everybody, and also specific advertising now, where they actually use a algorithm to understand what your likes are, and then they'll put certain stuff that you like in front of your face. Like if you're on Amazon shopping for, I don't know, like toilet paper, then you'll go to Facebook and the advertisement could be on the right side saying buy some toilet paper. So the internet's very useful for this kind of direct advertising, and it's good for that. Now, this is where my argument starts to come in. There's many issues I still feel that we have with technology that we still haven't worked out the kinks, and we are still just integrating ourselves with certain technology, and basically almost like our cell phones, tablets, computers, everything is we're integrating with it. So one of my first topics that is destructive of technology is from technology is cell phones. Cell phones can cause many car crashes. Many people are distracted while driving. A study I've read said that 660,000 drivers attempt to use their phone while behind the wheel. And of the 660,000, one out of every four ends in a car crash. So I've had my own personal experience with this, and I have uh, driven behind a car and texted someone and got distracted and rear-ended someone. And this is never a good thing. But I myself have personally experienced it, so I know the dangers of doing it. And sometimes, worst case scenario, people die from it. In 2013, 3,154 people were killed in texting or cell phone distracted related crashes. This can be very harmful to everyone and anyone in the situation. And I hope the number hasn't gone up since 2013, but I feel like it has just because the younger generation uses cell phones just as much, if not more than us. So the next issue is sometimes smartphones can be linked to trouble in relationships. CNN reported last year that we as a species look at our phone up to 10 hours or more a day. And this being said can harm relationships because your significant other can look at you while you're on your phone and think you're talking to someone or connecting to someone else out in the world just as much as connecting with you right there. This can be harmful because social media can detach you from your present and not help out any situation in a relationship. And lastly, social media has also been a key factor to happiness. I myself have seen people post pictures and get like 300 likes and feel so good about themselves, and it just like keeps feeding them and feeding them every time they have to post something. It makes them feel good that they're getting a digital like, and it's helping out their self-esteem, which can become addictive, just like in the podcast that we heard. This gentleman was taking photos of people on the subway, and he was starting to gain traction with being popular on social media, that it overtook him and made him overlook what's really in front of him, people, human beings, and throwing people under the bus. I mean, I guess it could feel good at a certain point that you want to keep doing it, but it just becomes an addiction at that point. I know that I've heard through a study that dopamine is released when you're getting these likes and getting this stuff. So it's almost like something's being released, like when you have an addiction in your head, then it must be an addiction. So after going over the issues with technology, I decided to go down a different rabbit hole and do how technology affects your health. So cell phones have been linked to cancer for many years now. I'm pretty sure we all know this. Wi-Fi signal can also be linked to it, putting out a negative ion energy that we can't even see. So this silent warfare can emit radioactive frequencies that can affect your tissue of any local muscle tissue or anything around you in your body. I myself can feel this often when I have a cell phone in my pants and I leave the screen on and it starts heating up. What is the heat and why is it heating? Because the inside of it's working, obviously still on, but you can feel it on your leg like a furnace. And so this radio frequency energy is a form of electromagnetic radiation, and there are two forms: there's ionizing and then non-ionizing. So microwaves with cell phones are non-ionizing, which is harmful, but not as harmful. Um, so yeah, cell phones also will carry bacteria and dirt, from around your hands. You're gonna be doing stuff throughout your day, and you're gonna just go back and you're gonna touch your phone some more. Or you're gonna go back and you're gonna keep, repeating the cycle until you clean that screen or clean your phone a little bit. So there's a study I found said that there's 25,000 germs per square inch on your cell phone without cleaning it. So this can be very harmful to past, sicknesses and illnesses. Um, but in any case, still bad for your health. Cell phones and tablets can cause a peak in your stress. This is very prevalent with people that lose their battery life, and then when their phone dies, they can stress out because they have no way of contacting the outside world or like seeing what their friends are doing or getting on Snapchat. So I can see why it affects people in that sense, but I've never really felt that stress from a cell phone dying on me. I have felt this second example about a ghost vibration in your pants. This ghost vibration can happen if you think there's a text or something, like your leg will just vibrate because you've had it vibrate so many times, and this repetition can lead just to like an illusionary vibration that happens, which I've had it happen to me back when I used to have my phone on vibrate, but now I don't even do that. So overall, for the most part, though, we need to watch our health, and with what we use technology for and how it can affect our health. And we need to be more conscious of how technology can affect us without being blind to it and being ignorant to it. Okay? So now we hit the three stages of technology. The gentleman in Lulu and Alex's podcast, I think it was Sterner's. He wore a computer every day for I don't know, I think it was about still probably to this day. This man would be going to college classes with like a computer at his side, basically a hard drive by his side that keeps information in, and wears a pair of glasses that gives him the information that can relay it to him. So he can look up pretty much anything in class and pass his class with ease. The reason he got away with it is because he was wearing it every day, which if you're doing that, it becomes a part of you. So then would iWatches just become, what if you can look up stuff on your iWatch? You wear it every day. Is it gonna be like, college courses are gonna be like, oh, that's fine. So with the three stages, though, the first one is seeing. So then we have the cell phones, tablets, computers, and all these you see on the day-to-day basis. Like even right now, I'm looking at a computer, but each day is just what you're looking at. The next one is the wearables. So you have the man who made the Google glasses, Sterner, the man who was in his college classes, with the item. He was a Kickstarter for Google Glasses, so he wants to be able to push this kind of idea and product to the human, to the human populace. Computer contact lenses could be the next thing that pops up, uh, but we'll never really know until they do it. Lastly, we have the implants, which are the ones I fear most, and they're, in the near future. These ones could be a very popular item, just like when the iPhone came out, everybody wanted the new iPhone. So, who's to say that when they release a implant that benefits people, and you could just walk into a grocery store like Amazon's done recently, and you can just pay and leave, but it scans your microchip and you pay through that, like that's your bank account and your ID and your social security number and everything in one. My thing is, I get worried that it's more of control for the government because they're going to be able to track anybody who has one. I'm probably pretty sure with how technology is going. But this in mind, we just need to be able to control and understand what technology is beneficial and what technology is not beneficial at the end of the day. Um, I'm all for the seeables. I'm all for cell phones, tablets, computers, iWatches, even the wearables too. But is it really going to benefit us if we're not really taking anything from it? We're really just letting the computer do most of the blunt work while we sit on the wayside, like like a biological organism should. But there's nothing we can do about our advances, and we're always curious as humans. Next is a video Amazon recently released about using your phone to just walk in and walk out and pay for items. And this could turn into microchip chip technology as well, just doing the same thing. But yeah, here we go.
Four years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
So I completely understand this concept and can see where they're going with it, but I still think that they're taking away from human to human interaction. We are stepping back more and more from our roots every day because technology is taking, either our jobs or just taking away human interaction. we're mostly looking at a phone and texting someone, or it's just like, yeah, you're not even talking to someone as, you know, human to human. So I can see their point with it, but I still disagree that this should happen. I still think, you know, you're gonna lose jobs obviously too with cashiers and stuff like that. But so this next video is about microchipping. This was NBC news coverage from 2010, and they're talking about putting implants into humans in 2017. So
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question. Am I who I say I am?
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for a single terrorist. Today's facial recognition software starts with the eyes. Then it maps out the contours of the face and compares that against a database of millions, a database that's growing by the day. What's next? At the University of Bath in England, researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want in 10 years' time.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
So will future department stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are?
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world. Tom Costello, NBC News, Alexandria, Virginia. News, Alexandria, Virginia.
So yeah, this just proves my point with where we were headed already in 2010 and where it probably still is heading. I don't agree with this in any way. but it's also just the human race being curious about what the future can hold. So after watching the last two videos, I'm trying to convey a point that technology can become a little erratic and harmful. Even in the podcast, the Invisibilia podcast, a man got caught by the first red light camera and had to go to court against the computer, basically to prove his innocence. Which I don't think he went to court in the actual podcast, but I know that people go to court and they fight the camera and usually win sometimes. But this being said, it's like the same thing will go down if you're being watched and being hovered over by, technology that's taking in data and sending it back to the government at all times, knowing where your location is at all times. Right now, cell phones are basically like an implant, but it's just in your pocket, and it feels more not like an implant, obviously, because it's not implanted in you, but it's just on your hip at all times. So this can be destructive to society, and I feel like if we don't get back to our human side of things where we're connecting with each other, passing information to each other, through books or anything like that, it's going to be way better for us to grow. Technology can be there, we just got to learn how to control it and use it in the most positive aspects rather than the most controlling aspects. At the end of the day, if we don't get a grasp on what we're trying to learn from technology and what we're gaining, what we're speeding up into, it will be destructive, and it might be the end of humans and how we think overall. Technology has positive aspects like to giving us information, making us knowledgeable, and that's cool and all, but it will have more negative effects on our society than positive if we don't know how to handle it. So I feel like if every day someone sets, you set down technology every now and then be in the present with your family and friends and be around people that actually care and are living real lives. Um, the future will always be there, but if we don't know how to get to the future in the most safe way possible, then we shouldn't even be dealing with technology, because especially if we can't even handle it. So I hope this argument made sense on the Invisibilia response. They did a good job with their podcast and staying neutral and biased somewhat of the time, but still technology is technology and humans are humans. So it depends on what side you really really benefits you. If you think technology benefits you, then good for you, and hope you know that you're still, you know, an organic being on Earth. So thank you for listening, and yeah, that's it.